Interest rates are back above 7% for the first time since March 8th, so almost 3 months. But what does that mean for the Dallas real estate market? My name is Michael. I'm a real estate agent here in the Dallas area, and every Monday I give you a weekly update covering all of Dallas and Collin County. We're looking at trends, which cities and zip codes are the hottest if you may be looking to sell your home, as well as which cities and zip codes are the coolest if you're a buyer or investor looking for a deal. We'll also be tracking mortgage rates, as well as mortgage purchase applications, as that's our best leading indicator to what demand is going to look like 30 to 90 days from now. We're looking at things like median list price, days on market, how many homes had price decreases, and inventory. And if you watch until the end, I do a top 10 rank of the hottest and coolest zip codes. It's my favorite part of the video, so you don't want to miss it. If this sounds like something you're into, make sure and hit the subscribe button. And if you're looking to make a move in the Dallas area, whether it's next week or next year, I'd love to connect. I've helped every one of these yellow dots find their little piece of Texas, and I'd love to help you too. Just call, text, or shoot me an email. All that info is in the description below. Okay, today is May 29th. It's Memorial Day, and as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm headed back to my beautiful pool with my beautiful family and my friends. But for now, let's see what the data is telling us this week. And if this is an old video, you can click on the playlist somewhere up here, hopefully, and it will take you to the most current update. Okay, starting last week, interest rates just went crazy. They started going straight up. Every single day it was a higher rate. So it's been 2 weeks of this now. And what people are saying is rates are just going up because there's uncertainty in the financial markets because of the debt ceiling, because the deadline is coming up, there's no deals, so financial markets panic. I don't know about all that. I'm not here to speculate on it. I just deal with the info at hand. And unfortunately, because it's a holiday today, we're not going to be able to see just how much of a negative impact these rates increasing so much in a week had on people applying for mortgages last week. So we'll have to wait until next week to get that info. But what we do know is from the update last week, when rates started to jump, it led to a 4.8% decrease that week in people applying for mortgages. So I would expect we'll see an even bigger than 4.8% decrease this week. And again, you could just think of that directly as a 4.8% decrease in demand. So let's start with mortgage rates. Okay, so here we are. This is where we're starting the week. Well, it's where we ended the week at a 7.14%. And if you look, we started last week at a 6.9, which already was insane. And every single day, 0.95, 7.01, 0.03, 0.12, 0.14, literally every day rates went higher. And this has happened for 2 straight weeks. So in the last 2 weeks, rates have gone up a total of 0.59%. How big of a deal is a 0.59% move? Well, on a $400,000 home, it means you'll now have to pay about $126 more a month than you would have 2 weeks ago for the exact same home. So it's a pretty big deal. That's over $1,500 a year more for the same house, just because rates went up 0.59%. And again, this is why I keep saying, don't wait to buy a home. You don't know what's going to happen next. Buy a home, and when rates finally do come down significantly, just refinance. Then you've got the home and you've got the low rate. And I probably sound like a broken record, but I'm going to keep doing this until people stop calling me and saying, I'm going to wait for rates to come down. And if you're still on the fence about, is this a good time for me to buy a house, please watch this video. Okay, let's move on to housing data. Okay, if you've been following along for any amount of time, you'd know what we look at here. This is called the Market Action Index. It's this one nice little image that just takes into account all of these factors and puts it here into an easy number for us to read. Anything below a 30 would be a buyer's market. Anything above that, and we're asking how much of a seller's market is it. So we're starting with Dallas County. This week, the median list price is $450,000, which looks like the exact same as it was a week ago. And the market action index actually is almost exactly, it's a 57, and last week it was a 57.05, so almost no change in that. And again, that's with rates running straight up. The median days on market has remained the same. I mean, this has been months of 28 median days on market. Price decreases, nothing to see there. The good news is inventory. So we've been in this just up and down around here for a while, and it is, I'm not going to get excited until we get above maybe 2451 significantly, but at least we're headed in the right direction. This is good news for buyers, bad news for sellers, but we absolutely need these inventory numbers to climb if we're ever going to get back to a normal market. And median rent continues to climb as well. I mean, look how low it was down here, 2,300, now back to 2,450. Let's take a quick look at Collin County, pretty much the same. No change from last month. Let's see, 52.13, and last week 52.31. So yeah, I mean, the market is basically just stalled. Median days on market here as well as 28. Let's take a closer look at this median list price. So as you can see, the dark line, that's the more reliable one. That's a 90-day moving average. That one is still headed straight up. The weekly average, more noisy line, had a bit of a drop this week, or for the last 2 weeks actually. Not surprising with rates climbing, but that's temporary. You want to look at the overall trend as things are still climbing. The inventory is looking much better over here. Well, I don't know know about much better, but it's certainly been climbing more for longer, which is good for buyers. And if you'd like to get a market report with all of this data for your specific city or zip code, just shoot me a text, give me your name, a good email address for you, and what location you'd like to be put on for the search. And you can go down here and you can break it down to market segments, which gives you different price points, so you can shut off the price points that aren't relevant to you, and you just have a ton of data. It's a lot of fun if you're anything like me. Okay, now we're moving on to our top 10 rank charts, and these charts are ranking out of all 84 zip codes in Dallas County and 26 zip codes in Collin County. So starting with our top 10 hottest cities, Grapevine, Louisville, Carrollton, and Plano all held their top 4 spots, although I will say Grapevine is at an 82.75, where last week it was almost to an 86. So it definitely cooled off a bit this week. And then Irving heated up 1 spot, Duncanville heated up 1 spot, Allen actually cooled off 2 spots, Saxe remained the same, Coppell heated up 1, and Richardson cooled off 1. But again, these are the top 10 hottest cities of all of Dallas and Collin County, so if you're on this list, you are red hot. Now we like to zoom in from the cities into the zip codes. The absolute hottest zip code in all of Dallas and Collin County is at an 88.23, that is Plano 75023, followed by Plano 75075, Carrollton 75007, Grapevine 76051, Irving 75063, Plano 75025, Allen 75013, Louisville 75067, Grand Prairie 75052, Frisco 75035. So if you made this list, you are in one of the top 10 hottest zip codes in all of Dallas and Collin County, which means you can expect to get top dollar if you're looking to sell. I'll let you just take a look at this one. Every week I think I'm going to take it down, but this is just the hottest market specifically this week. And surprisingly, it wasn't all 100s, where I think last week it was. But again, this is not reliable data. This is just specifically this week. Where was the hottest market? So you could be on this list 1 week and then never again. So not reliable, but as I'm talking, you just take a look at that, see if your zip code's on there. Maybe it'll give you something to celebrate about this week. But let's move on. Same thing, but these are the top 10 coolest markets. So if you'll remember, a 30 or below is a buyer's market. So anything in the 30s is as close to a buyer's market as we've been for a while. So Farmersville and Ferris remain the 2 coolest cities. Van Alstyne cools off 2, which is bad. Blue Ridge heats up 1. Prosper heats up 1. Leonard cools off 1. Seagoville heats up 1. Royce City cools off 1. Rockwall jumps onto the top 10 list out of nowhere into the number 9 spot. And Nevada continues at the number 10 spot, which again, you want to be on the number 10 spot and then you want to fall off this list because you're trying to heat up off of the coolest list. And then to zoom in even further, these are the specific zip codes that are the coolest right now. Farmersville 75442, Dallas 75219, Dallas 75212, Ferris 75125, Dallas 75203, Dallas 75209, Dallas 75235, Van Alstyne 75495, Blue Ridge 75424, and Dallas 75205. So if you're a buyer or investor looking for an opportunity, these are the coolest zip codes. That's where you're most likely to not get into a multiple offer situation. And again, the almost useless list, specifically this week, all of these zip codes were acting like buyer's markets. That doesn't mean they're going to continue like that next week, but you can just take a quick look and see there were opportunities here this week. Okay, the last thing we look at is the inventory. This is the 90-day average. This is the 7-day average. We look to this to see if we can spot any early trends. Dallas, sadly, is having no significant increase. McKinney either. You can see it's been in this pattern for a while, but Prosper as well seems to be holding, but Frisco is still curving up. That's good news. Royce City as well. Plano for sure is curving up. Rockwall, absolutely. And Allen is definitely curving up. So that's what we want to see. We're hoping that's going to start translating over here to the 90-day average, and we're going to get some new inventory. That way our buyers don't have to be in multiple offer situations all the time. So that's it for this week. Hopefully the debt ceiling stuff gets resolved soon and rates will start to come back down. Again, don't try to time the market. If you can buy a house, buy a house. And if you're looking to buy or sell, whether it's next week or next year, just call, text, or shoot me an email. I'd love to connect. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.